more can the president do here? He didn't. Go ahead.
George, the president of the United States could have come down here. He could have been involved with the families of these 11 people. He could be commandeering tankers and making BP bring tankers in and clean this up. They could be deploying people to the coast right now. He could be with the Corps engineers and the Coast Guard with these people in Plaquemines Parish doing something about these regulations. These people are crying. They're begging for something down here, and it just looks like he's not involved in this. Man, you got to get down here and take control of this, put somebody in charge of this thing, and get this thing moving. We're about to die down here.
Wow, fear not. The Obama administration now claims they are in complete control of the catastrophic oil spill. Unfortunately, we only started hearing that kind of rhetoric from the White House yesterday, and that makes them about 36 days late. So tonight, we'd like to update you on what's been keeping the president so busy since the explosion on April 20th. Now, for starters, the president wasn't about to let the biggest environmental disaster in American history keep him off the golf course. Now, he hit the links at least twice in the last 2 weeks alone. And in between golf outings, White House pool reports indicate, well, the president has been working on his basketball game. Now, he's also found time to make 2 separate cross-country trips to California in order to headline 4 mega fundraisers for liberal Democratic Senator Barbara Boxer. And who can forget that the night the president decided to take a break from monitoring the disaster in order to share some laughs with his friends in the mainstream Obama mania media. In the aftermath of the Correspondents' Dinner, while party time continued just days later at a Cinco de Mayo reception in the Rose Garden. And weeks later, it was time to honor American basher Felipe Calderon with a star-studded state dinner at the White House. And if he wasn't, hoisting champagne, well, he was hoisting championship trophies. 6 days after the spill began, he welcomed the New York Yankees to the White House. And less than a month after that, well, he was celebrating with UConn's women's basketball team. So does this sound like a guy that has his priorities in order? Well, here with analysis from Project 21, Fox News contributor Deneen Borelli, and from the Fox Business Network, Sandra Smith. Guys, welcome back. All right, here's where I want to start. I never thought I'd quote James Carville. Begging, take control. We're dying down here. What has he done?
There's not a lot of exaggeration to his point, Sean. I mean, all day long we spent on the Fox Business Network talking to these companies that have been in operation for 3-4 generations. Sean, they're threatening to have to close their doors. The shrimp boats can't go out. The fisheries are having to close down. It's an absolute mess. And meanwhile, we still got 5,000 barrels of oil gushing out of this thing a day.
Where is he? What is he doing?
Not on the ground.
Think about it. Obama has plenty of time to play basketball and golf, but he doesn't have time, from last I checked, to attend the traditional Memorial Day ceremony at Arlington National Cemetery. I mean, what's up with that? I mean, getting back on BP, they are a risk to our environment and our liberty. They've spent way too much money and effort fighting for climate change legislation and for cap and trade regulations, which is going to be a tax on energy, going to make energy much more expensive, and they took the eye off of safety.
Look, this is Obama's Katrina on steroids. This is that bad, by the way. This is his Katrina on steroids, and I'm watching here. First of all, they gave this particular Horizon location, the Deepwater Horizon rig, a safety award. They ignored inspections at this particular rig. There's some culpability, and then they sat on their hands and they're pointing fingers at BP. What they're not predicting here is when this oil starts hitting shore in massive quantities, and when it hits shore in Louisiana and Florida and goes up the eastern seaboard and is destroying beaches and wildlife and industry, let me tell you something. He's going to get blamed for doing nothing. Politically speaking, why didn't they see the danger?
The enormity of this situation has not been realized. It's being realized by the people down on the shores of Louisiana. It's not, and by us, and it's not being realized by the administration. Bobby Jindal, the governor of Louisiana, he's asking for help. He's begging for help, Sean. He's not saying, hey, get down there and get the leak contained. He's saying, get down there and show us, get a plan in our hands. They're on plan C, BP is right now. There's no plan D. There's nothing else in the hands of
to do is say, well, we were down there from day one. Day one doing what? He's been playing golf. He's been at fundraisers. He's shooting hoops. You know, he's out there doing everything but what he should be doing. This seems to me a moment where leadership should exist.
Well, absolutely.
And I, for the life of me, don't understand why anybody in the White House doesn't understand the severity of this.
Right. It's political correctness gone wild.
Why do you say political correctness?
Because they were so focused on climate change and cap and trade plain and simple, cap and trade legislation. And what company, Sandra, in their right mind, for example, would lobby for a policy that's going to cause your energy costs to go up for consumers? They're lobbying against their own product. It's ridiculous.
But see, we're even moving past the point now. We actually need BP now. Janet Napolitano just came out and outraged a lot of folks by coming to the defense of BP, saying, no, they're the only ones who can fix this problem. They've got the technology. They've got the personnel. They're the only ones who can fix it. Sean, you know, not a lot of engineers looking at this right now will argue with that point.
By the way,
but they could get involved. The administration can get on the ground.
This is a live shot of the oil that is coming out in these massive quantities. I mean, and BP... You know,
and so right now they're doing this top kill method.
Now they're
shoving mud down the pipe, Sean.
Mud down there and cement.
The company itself says it only has a 60 to 70% success rate.
Sure.
That's from the company.
Look, there's one other issue here, and regulators apparently have accepted gifts. This is, you know, government regulators from the oil industry, so they didn't do the necessary inspection. So all the blame can't really be on BP on the one hand, and secondly, if the government's not going to help. And Robert Gibbs, apparently, according to reports, is scolding reporters for asking too many questions about it.
There's a lot of blame to go around, but BP has a horrible track record. If you look at what happened in 2005 with the Texas City oil refinery explosion, 2006 they had the oil pipe leak in Alaska. They clearly have a poor track record on taking their eye off the safety measures, but clearly they need to do more and step up the effort.
Let me tell you, I like James Carville, rarely agree with him. Mr. President, take control. Go down there. Send the resources. Help the coast out. The entire coastline of the eastern seaboard and the southeastern United States is now in jeopardy. The fishing industry, the tourism industry is in jeopardy. Do something. Stop playing golf. Stop shooting hoops. Stop raising money and start helping the people
that are going
to be losing their jobs in droves as a result of this.
It's terrible.
It's scary. All right, guys, we'll continue to follow. And coming up, one of Frank Luntz's focus groups, they voice out their opinions on me. He did a focus group on me. I'm dead. You're going to love this. Coming up next. This is the